We're recording. Hi, I'm Jolie from Happy Heart Arts, Visual Arts of Jolie Collins. And oh, hi, Emily. Oh, this book is from my sketches. It's a one-off, but basically my drawings I copied in here and then colored with markers. If I could figure out how to find another like hard copy book like this, because I found that at Michael's years ago, I would totally redo this again. Take my drawings and put them in this, oh, let me move back here, it's too close to the light, form of some of my earlier dancer drawings. Yes. Whew, I managed to flip through the book backwards. Ah. So yeah, it's a one-off book I made from some of my dancer drawings. Yay. I'm glad that was your first comment. Awesome. Alrighty. Um, so I'm going to lower my camera a little bit here so you can see some of my work. All right, so basically I do abstracts in acrylic, mostly small. I occasionally do bigger sizes, but mostly small. This piece here is a 12 by 12. This is a 10 by 10. These here are, I'm going to move this. These here are actually a little bit smaller than my normal. These are 6 by 6s. My most popular size I work in is 8 by 8s, which of course I didn't demonstrate right here. During COVID and running out of canvases a little bit, I started playing around with materials of what I was painting on. And so this here actually is the board, the backing of a board from framing that I didn't use. So I repurposed it. Upcycling? I know that's probably an old term now, but I repurposed it and did some of my abstract paintings on the old boards from my paintings, or the old framing from my paintings. So, because I didn't need the boards for my pictures. So, yeah, I have a bunch of 10 by 10s that I still need to paint up. And then I have 8 by 8s that I started painting on the board, which has actually been very fun. The only difficulty is that the particle board is very absorbent, so I have to prep it first before I can do a painting. But it's been a fun experiment trying a different material and learning how to use it for my painting. Alrighty, I'm going to move my examples out of the way and I'll begin painting. Alrighty. This piece here is a nice little 10 by 10. And I'm basically going to use some of my favorite, let's see, acrylics, basic. This is Liquitex. I also use basics and then also use Blick as a brand. They're very interchangeable. So since the first color I grabbed, I'm just going to go ahead and use my red first. I love red. It's one of my favorite colors. All right. Normally I paint flat on a table or painting on my floor, one of my favorite places for painting. But so it's a little awkward trying to paint sitting up here. But I love using my spatula, and so I usually spread it around first to see what happens. Well, that does look interesting. All right, I'm going to cheat. I want my paint on here fast. Sometimes I just want to paint fast. So I'm going to switch and do my background with my paintbrush. A slightly bigger paintbrush. Let's see here. Yes, a 1 inch. All right, I must admit I like flats a lot. Oh, hello, Amanda. That color matches your bike. Oh, yes, it does. The color of the bike is called, this is going to sound strange, is called watermelon. So it's kind of a nice mix between red, which I love, and pink, which I think's okay. It's actually more pink. But so I just call it watermelon, so I feel better about it being pink. But that actually is its official color name when I bought it at the bike place. Alrighty, so yeah. Alright, now we'll get the color on here nice and fast, just to get the background on. I love color. Usually I do not Yeah, for the most part, I don't mix my colors. I just put them flat on. If I do mix, I'll probably mix it right on the canvas, stuff like that. It's a technique I learned, the putting the paint straight on the canvas and then spreading it around with the brush or with the spatula. I learned it from a video series I was watching on YouTube. What's fun about abstracts, well, it depends. There really is no up or down, so I always feel free to turn my canvas. Oh, hey, Tom. Nice to see you. Or read your name. Alrighty, so whoopsie, got a little charcoal dust in there, but it's all good. All right, let's see, let me move this over a bit. Okay, all right, now that I got my beautiful red background, I am going to put this in some water. And I am going to go with, all right, my first color I'm going to do, I go in the mood. I don't just, well, sometimes I think about my colors. I've used a lot of my paints, and I end up realizing I've done 3 or 4 different paints, either in a moment or in a couple of days. I'll use red and blue paint for my paints. I'll switch it up. But if I get a brand new set of paints, I'll just paint in the moment. So I grabbed red first, so I painted red. Now, since I suddenly thought yellow would go great with my red, I'm going to go with yellow. This is going to sound funny. About a year ago, I was doing, well, actually, it's almost 2 years. I was doing artist residency up in Cedarburg, Wisconsin. And it was hilarious because, all right, yellow's good. It's a joyful color. So that's awesome about yellow. Problem is, yellow is not my favorite color. I don't hate it. It does make me feel good because it's nice, positive, bright color, but it's not my favorite. And what was so weird about this residency was I had a bunch of my paintings out, and I looked at them, and I suddenly realized almost every single one of my paintings, almost every single one had some yellow in it, which was I thought was very weird because, like I said, it's not necessarily my favorite color, but it turns out I used it a lot. Even if it's just a little, a smidge here. All right. So as you saw, I painted it with the paintbrush. Now I just kind of went with the moment and put my yellow on. Now I'm going to spread it out with my little painting knife just to see what will happen. I've used the flat here and then just having fun. I love when people see things in my paintings, but I must admit, I'm just going with the feel of it. Or sometimes I just realize I have excess paint, I'm just wiping it off. That's what I did in this corner here. I do think about, after I start putting paint on, I do start thinking about what colors go with it, what colors don't. Sometimes placement. Those art lessons when I was in school do affect my brain at times, so sometimes I think about the balance after I painted something. So yeah, this is cool. All right, let's see. Yes, green not because of Christmas. This is going to sound strange, but red and green are complementary colors. And, well, I must admit, I do put blue with my red a lot too. But I love putting red and green together. You might think it's because of Christmas, but no, because red's my favorite color, green has to go with it. Not always. What's interesting about this brand, it looks nice and brightly green now, but I do know when it dries, it's probably going to be very dark. Like navy. You know how navy can look like black? Yes, it's going to be that dark when it dries. So right now it's kind of more vibrant. Let's see, I might turn this a little bit. You might be able to tell a little bit. It looks a little green here or there, but I know later on when this dries, right now it looks dark. That's about how dark it's going to dry. So believe me, when I say it's green, it is green. It's green, it really is. All right, I must admit, this looks kind of cool for me, just painting in the moment and not thinking about where I'm putting my paint strokes. So, which might be a good thing. I know I think too much. People might not realize it. They might think I'm an emotional person, and I do get emotional. but I'm an analytical person too. I analyze a lot of stuff. I think about a lot of stuff. Um, and I think about all the different ways something can be done or not done, or was this the right move or that the wrong move, or was this the right thing to do? Should I add more paint? Should I not add more paint? Um, yeah. So what I do with life, turns out I do with my paintings too. Should I add more color or not? Um, this one, I've decided it's going to need a little bit more color. Because something's wrong with this spot right there. You guys are probably going, what? Yeah, I get weird like that. But I think this might be my last color. Depends on how I feel. Oh, that might have been too much. All right, so the white, I needed the white to change it up, but I might have to add a little more red to fix that. But I like the white. Let's see. Might have to add a dab of red to bring my red back there. I know I was like, ah! I might change this here a little. Let's see here. Give me one moment to look at this and decide what I want to change. Oh yes, one of the things, so I will put the paint straight on the canvas and then I use the flat of my blade to spread it out, but also you can use the edge. It can create nice little lines in the paint. Yes, it is wet on wet. So the background was still wet when I painted on top, and of course the other layers you saw were still wet. But yeah, I can use the edge. I haven't done it this time, but I might when I do my second painting, I might do the third one. I'll put some paint on the edge and try it that way too. But let me think about something here. If I want to change something. Let's see. Here, let me turn it here so you guys see it a little bit better. I realize it looks a little tomato. It's a little more red, a little less orange looking than it's in real life. Let's see. All right, this is gonna sound crazy. I'm gonna do blue. It turns out that a lot of my paintings, it's amazing there's green on here. A lot of my paintings when especially when I first started, because I was using the basic set from Liquitex, or I was using the Utrecht, not the Utrecht version, the Blick version. Here's a oopsie. So these are basically the same acrylic paints in their big tubes. The basic set is black, white, blue, green, yellow, and red. So it turns out there were a lot of paintings with that. And then I realized I was getting tired of those colors. But so then I started using a 12 pack of colors or other pack of colors that had more. This could use a triangle thing. But yeah, a lot of my paintings will have either be red and blue and yellow because it's the three primary colors and I end up using them over and over again in some kind of combination. All right, I'm going to add one more dot of blue here. Oh, yeah, that makes me feel good. Ooh, and I got some extra paint here, so this might be cool. Alrighty. Oops, got in the way of that there. Now I add one more dot of red to bring up that white spot I put in, and I think I'm going to decide to be happy. It sounds weird. I've heard it before. Sometimes a painter doesn't know, or you can't feel out when the painting's done. There's that struggle of, should I keep doing more? Should I do less? And I know my hand just rubbed wrong. Let's see here. Let me fix this. And it's a hard struggle trying to decide when is it done. Usually for me, if I decided painting's done, if I struggled, sometimes if it's like, okay, is it done? Because I'm struggling because I can't decide if I want to put something there, so I'll let it dry, and then I'll come back, and if I'm still feeling it needs something, I'll add it. But if it ends up sitting there for a full day and I haven't changed it, it means it's done. Means it's really done. Because then it gets to the point where I've accidentally overworked it sometimes, and then it turns out a couple months later I repaint over it. So I really don't want to do that to this painting because this started off very nicely. There we go. I'm going to change that up a little bit. Actually, I want to add a little more red. I know that sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy to say I'm going to add more red, but I want to bring back some of the red I covered up in the center here. Just because I like red. I'll just say that's the reason why. I know it sounds weird to say that, but hey, artist prerogative. Alrighty. I'm going to let this painting breathe. But that was fun. Feels a little packery with the yellow and the green there. But yeah, this is now a brand new, let's see if we can turn this the right way, a brand new 10 by 10 painting. Most of my 10 by 10s unframed are $35 on my website, which is happyheartarts1513.com. All right, so yeah, so there we go, a brand new painting. Yay! All right, I'm gonna put this aside and start another painting. For those who stick around longer, I'm going to do a drawing later too, one of my black and white charcoal drawings of a face. I find drawing very relaxing. I know it sounds strange, but you paint. Drawing is the bomb, man. I've been doing that for ages. Well, off and on for ages. Because I started drawing when I was a kid. All right, give me a second to put this to dry. I know, I didn't put it on the floor. It looks like it's just close to the floor. But it's a place where I won't accidentally kick it though either. Woohoo! All right, this is another 10 by 10 canvas. Let me see. Oh, does anybody have a color that they'd like? I have, there's 4 colors. There is black and white, 4 pink. I'll just say black and white are colors, but black, white, green, yellow, red, or blue. Anybody have a favorite of those 5, 6? Let's see if I can see more comments here. Let me scroll down here. Oh, I see more comments here. Let's see. Hello. Oh, hi, Emily Sue. My daughter says it's starting to look like a bird. Yeah. I did another painting that I was showing somebody, and it was the same type of thing, and she too saw birds. Some of my paintings have looked like butterflies. Well, maybe just one. Oh, Tammy, thank you. Oh, bye, Tom. Thanks for coming. Blue. Thank you, Tammy. Guess what? I'm going to do blue. Woohoo! Thank you. Oh, I don't have pink at the moment. But I think I have some fluid. I think we'll use some fluid. So I'll see if I have some fluid, and I'll do some pink on it. Let me find my container. But I'm going to start with the blue and where my fluid paint. I do have some pink. I'm going to try using some fluid paint on this too, where I'm going to, well, you'll see. All righty, let's see. So thank you guys for these wonderful ideas. Oh, that's green. Ooh. All right. Oh, normally I paint flat. So so it looks a little weird, like, why is she picking this up? So I'm going to put this here. Ooh. That might be a little much. Oh, well. Actually, I'm going to switch it up, y'all. I know I say I always start off with the paintbrush or the spatula, but a really cool technique I learned, I guess it was earlier this year, to spread color. I'm going to spread it with a roller. All right, I'm going to try my best not to make too much of a mess. I wore this nice, colorful outfit to match my colorful paintings. All right. You can also use it to blend too. If I had actually put a second color on here for the background, I could blend with it. But right now I'm just going to use it to spread. Oh. Fun of abstract, you can paint in any direction. There's no top or bottom. What's very funny is that I painted many a painting. Ooh, I like those little lines in here from the roller thing. I've painted many a painting, and when it's dry, I might turn it by 180 or even just 90 degrees and be like, ah, that's the new top or bottom. So that's not going to happen with, well, I don't know yet. All right, so I've got my blue down. Let me just make sure I got everybody's comments here. Cool. All right. Ooh, that's right, that pink. Let me wait on the pink here. I actually am going to use my red because I think the red might make a nice transition to the pink. All right. Let's see. It's going to free form this a little bit. Oh yeah, good. You guys can see this. I know, I'll do it like this. That meant to happen. That little dot by itself. Just joking. One of the things of abstract is just like trying to see what will happen when you paint in that moment. And yeah, sometimes when you try to like, I'm going to have a nice smooth line of paint when I squeeze it out of the bottle and then it just squirts a dot. You're like, oh well. So you just live with that. So, which I think is good for me. I'm not a planner necessarily, but sometimes I do like things to go a certain way. Or you imagine it to go a certain way, and sometimes I just don't do things 'cause I'm like, it's not going to work. But doing these abstracts really just helps me to let go and just enjoy the painting and let it, well, it's going to sound painterly or artistry or whatever, like, oh, just let it be or just let it go and let it do its thing. It's not really doing its thing, but it's me just relaxing and taking a chill pill. It's more like that, not necessarily let it just do its thing. But more just, I guess, being playful with it and not trying to control all the aspects of everything because it's not necessarily going to work the way I think it's going to work. So that's more like what it is. Let's see. Well, I'm glad I didn't. I let those lines from the edge of the roller come through because I don't think you guys can see it. Let's see if I can turn it. But do you see those little white lines? That's the canvas. So the roller kind of cut into it. So I'm just letting it stay. It also has this layer of texture that you can't get with the paintbrush or with spatula, kind of like a stucco-y. You know those ceilings, those people had the stucco walls. Yeah, it's kind of like that, but much shorter. So yeah, have that. And then, of course, the blade, creating its little texture, too. So, all right, so that's that. All right. Guess what? It's time for some pink. So let me, hold on, check here. All right. Now, what's nice about the pink, or fluid, so most of my paints, I should say, are these normal level. It's like not too thin, not too thick. If you want it thinner, you have to water it down. But I also use these paints that are more fluid-like. And what's great about the fluid ones, you can almost write with them, kind of like I did the red, but they're a little bit more runny. And you'll see that when I do this pink. I'm just going to shake it up just in case it thinned out a little bit with all the heavier, pigment at the bottom. Don't want that. All right. And chances are it's probably going to drip. Normally, I'm not going to, I'll tell you right now, I'm probably not going to like it dripping, but hey, I said I'm just going to let it be. And then, oh, thank you, Tammy. All right, y'all, ready for some pink? Let's see. I have to figure out how to draw with the J one day. I think that'd be awesome. But, well, maybe I'll try J shape just to see what will happen. Yeah, it didn't happen. All right, let's see here. Ooh, there we go. That's what happened. No J. Oh, I think I might do one more line here. Sorry, y'all. I turned that away from you guys. Let's see. Oh, I can see it already. It's already dripping. And I misplaced the cap. That is so me. But as you can see, if you look closely, some of the pink here is dripping on the edge. It's dripping there. I haven't done a drip painting in a while. That might be my next project one day. But let's see. I'm going to think about this. I'm going to see if I need another color or... Actually, I'm going to put a little pink in the top here to balance it out. It probably looks white to you guys, but it really is pink. It's just a very, very light pink. It's called light pink. What am I saying? All right, let's see. I'm gonna see if I can get a drop of this pink at the top. I'm gonna put it on the back of my blade here, and then just smear it on. It was a little too empty. It does need a little pink for the eye to draw up here. So I don't have a triangle shape. If you guys are artists, you've probably heard about the triangle. To get the eye to move around. No, I don't have a triangle, but it just needed a little pink in the corner to get the eye to look up there a little bit. So, ooh. All right. I think I might let this go. I might just see. I probably shouldn't have done that. I was trying to stop it from dripping. I know I said I was going to let it go. Let's see. But you know what? I'll let it go. It is done. All right. That is that. I know you probably noticed, yes. Oh, thank you, Angela. All right. What's nice about these is if I'm the type of person who, if I work on a painting that I have to think about and I work on them for days, like step by step. For example, one of my nephews had wanted, this is going to sound strange, but it was cool, an abstract watermelon. So it challenged me because I had to paint differently. So I drew it all out on the canvas. No, I didn't plan it out in a sketchbook. I was a little lazy about that part. I did not plan it out in a sketchbook. I could have done that too, but I decided not to. But I sketched it out, cut it in four, put some edges because he wanted it to be an octagon. He wanted the watermelon to be an octagon. So I did a octagon shaped circle, divided into 8. Each section was reds and pinks. So I decided each one would be different. But I remember every time I painted 2 colors, I would sit for a day and think about it and then add my next colors. So what's nice about these abstracts is I attempt to make them all in that moment, and so I get a finished piece in that moment, which is great because I like that satisfaction, and also not thinking about it for days on days on days, which is fine, but yeah, it's fine. I think I need both. I think I need to be able to get it done quickly sometimes, but also to have time to be able to work on a piece, mull it, and stuff like that. All right, I'll do one more painting. I'll do a small one. This will be, my official size, my 8x8. That when I was showing samples at the beginning, I had every size but the 8x8 available. And then right after that, I got my little tablet pulled for my reference for my drawing. So I'll do my drawing second, or after that. So one more painting, and then I'll do my drawing. So anyways, thank you guys for the pink and the red. Like I said, red is one of my favorite colors. And those of you guys who see that bike back there, the watermelon bike, helped to make me think it matches my bike now. All right, hey, I'll ask for another color. I did a red background and a blue background. Green, yellow. Oh, it's nice to have a break with a quick piece. Yes, exactly it. Tammy, I agree with you. It's a nice break. And actually how I started doing them was I gave myself an art challenge to paint for 100 days. And that's what happened. I ended up being able to paint a little painting every day. And now that I did a mixed media piece, which would take days. So the quick ones definitely were good because I felt like it was a nice break, a nice brain change. And I felt like I accomplished things in between. So yeah. So green, awesome. All right, I got my green here. Yay. Trying to think, do I have a lighter green? I know. Oh, I'm just going with my nice little green from the tube here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put some green on here. I'm going to put some white on here too, just to get a different background versus the others. Others are a solid red and a solid blue. So I'm going to put a little white on here. And because I thought of it the last minute, this might be messy. What am I saying? I'm a painter. Of course it's messy. Yes, my hands are already messed. Okay, let's see here. Ooh, my brush has a little too much red in it still. Let's see. Do I have another brush? I have another brush. All right, we'll use a different brush. Probably have a little bit of red because my water's dirty, but oh well, life goes on. All right. Let's see if I can. I know it's a little. Oh, that's kind of cool. Huh. You know what's so funny about abstract, or at least for me, is that I'll just be playing to like spread it around. I'll be like, ooh, that's a really cool effect. Maybe maybe I shouldn't paint over it. You know, which is I find so fun about abstracts. You know, if I needed a nice smooth background, I couldn't keep it, but with an abstract, I'd be like, oh, let me play with this texture, this roughness of spreading the paint. Um, and I might change my mind later, but right now I'm going, okay, I'm just going to kind of leave it there for a moment or two. And start trying to blend in my white a bit. Actually, I don't like this. All right, I'm going to switch brushes. I don't like this brush. I'm trying not to get, all right. Oopsie. Oh, my paper towel. All right, let's see if I can get more of this red out. Well, I guess if it's slightly pink, it won't be too bad. Because it'll make my green jump a little more, I guess. But I must admit, I want my white to be slightly, at least start with white and go to, what's that called? Light green. All right, let's see. Let's get my, I'm going to mix, glue my white here a little bit. Yeah, I put too much white paint, but it's all good. It'll be nice texture later. I must admit, whenever I've been using my white lately, I keep telling myself, that's too much paint. And then the very next canvas, that's too much paint. I do it every time. Alrighty, I'm just gonna see what happens here as I blend these into each other. Let's see, let me put this down. Actually, hold on one second here. My stool's in the way here. I want to see if I can turn this so you guys can see a little better what I'm doing. All right. So I'm just gonna let it blend in, see what happens. Then I always forget. I'm like, whoopsie, I shouldn't have done it that way. But I can always add more white later. I don't know, all this beautiful paint, I don't want to waste it. Let's see, let's put it over here. All right, so it turns out, I love about the painting knife one. Um, I don't think as much, but blending, it does require me to think a little. Sorry, y'all. So my brain thinks too much. My brain thinks too much. It's really bad at talking at the same time. Sorry about that. All right. Let's see. So I'll just try to. All right, I'm going to take some of this paint off my brush because I want to control a little bit of the blending. Right now, I'm not controlling it too much. I'm just letting the colors pull a bit, but I think I want it to be more of a smooth gradation than what it is right now. Yeah, let's see here. So let's go from the bottom to the top. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. It's kind of cool how it pulled in from the piece. Alright, let's see if I can fix this up a little bit. Alrighty. This is very funny. I love it. I love how paintings, even if you try to recreate something, are never quite the same. You know, even if they feel similar in color, they won't feel the same um, design-wise necessarily. Many a piece I've fallen in love with because I liked what I did in the painting, and yeah, haven't managed to recreate them. Oh, thank you, Janice. Hopefully I said that right. Thank you. I think yeah, green's good, especially during the holiday. I green is not necessarily my favorite color, but I love it with red because red is one of my favorites, and I love red and green together. They just bring out the best in each other. And I also love green because it makes me think of nature. This particular green, as I'm looking at, makes me think of trees, Christmas trees. Um, so yeah, let's see. Let's see if I can merge this green into my white. Right now I'm going to do the opposite, give my white into my green. Let's see. It's time for me to put more green on my brush, it seems. All right, let's just do what it wants to do, the opposite of what I wanted to do. Or maybe I should just switch brushes. All right, let's try that. A brush that is more green. I think I'm going to add a little more. All right, I'm going to add some more green to this. It needs a little more green. Right, especially around the edges where it's like, whoopsie. Yes, they were quite whoopsies. You guys didn't hear them. But, so those quiet whoopsies are going to turn into more major green. There we go. I know, it's still lots of beautiful texture. Yeah, texture. That's one of the things I love about abstracts, texture, the impasto. Oh my goodness, I just wiped on the top of my thing here. Whoopsie. Yes, I had a little white in my greens, kind of like getting what was it? You got chocolate in my peanut butter, you got peanut butter in my chocolate. Yes, I did just age myself. Woohoo! All right. Let's see. You know what? I was thinking about that red's in my head now. Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna grab my spatula here. Actually, put some green. I'll put actually on the edge of my blade here. Let me turn it this way. Put on the edge of my blade some green. So it's right here on the edge. And then I'm gonna lift my canvas up so you get more of a flat surface to create a nice little line. Because the weird part is this does look tree-like. Unintentional. This year, I don't know why I never did it before. It's probably because the paper I had for it was meant for being printed on, even though it's supposed to be for cards. But I never printed on the paper. Never put it in my printer. So I had all this paper that I made Christmas cards on, abstract paintings that I sent out as Christmas cards. So I'm going to do one. So anyways, in the process of making all those cards, I created this. I came up with a little technique. I'm going to try that little technique right now. Fingers crossed it works. Yes, that was a double finger cross. Woohoo! All right. It's probably going to drip a little. All right, so got my spatula, my brush, and now I'm going to try my fluid paints and go to a little back and forth here. All righty. Yeah, it did not flow as well as I thought it should. All right. Ta-da! Abstract Christmas tree. Oh, and it drips. I forgot. It's going to drip. I'm going to pull this flat here, y'all. It looks like it used a little gold glitter. Glitter's cool. Um, probably not now. Yeah, I could use some glitter. That's probably just what my brain probably got that holiday thing going on in my head now. Suddenly I'm going, I could use glitter. Not necessarily. It's just that my brain's thinking that way. I'm going to let this sit a little bit because I'm going to probably tweak it later. But I don't want this to drip. I know that sounds weird. So I'm going to let that sit. And I'm going to switch my camera up a little bit here. Because I promised you guys I'm going to do a drawing. Yes. All right. I must have to change this a little bit. Let me hold on one second. I'm going to move some things out of the way, like this water. There we go. Get myself switch gears. Put my drawing materials next to me versus my painting materials. Drawing. I just love drawing. I must admit, for some odd reason, the last few weeks I have not drawn. I was trying to figure out why, and I realized I was working on a couple of paintings as gifts, Christmas cards, did a little sewing. Don't tell anybody. Oh, yes, awesome. Yeah, I agree with you, Amanda. The glitter will come. I'm just going to, yeah, I'm going to add it later. But I agree, glitter. That piece needs glitter. Yeah, so this feels good to get back to drawing today. I normally don't, as a kid, I drew in pencil. I drew in pencil a lot. In my notebooks in class, though they were always the same thing, I doodled in pen. And when I went back to school to get my art degree in my 30s, yeah, it's kind of strange to say that. I went back to school to get my art degree, which it was the best time ever to go back to school and get my art degree because it was something I always had wanted to do. And even when I studied communications and other things, I still wanted to study art. And so I was very happy and very glad when I went back to school and got my art degree. Anyways, after pencil, my favorite, so pen, sorry, I'm getting to my long story of why I draw in pen, though I'm drawing in charcoal today, is that I drew in pencil first, and then drawing in pen for doodling. But when I was in school, or like high school, I was drawing with chalks, and that became like my favorite medium. Oopsie. This is Vine charcoal. I'm going to cover the background here with Vine charcoal. I'm going to start with a neutral background. So instead of white or black, I'm just going to start with, not new. It's neutral either way, if it's white or black. But I'm going to start with more of a mid-tone. That's what I meant to say. A mid-tone, gray background. And then that way, when I make my pink, it's going to be black and white. It's going to go up. My darks will go dark and my lights will go, I will erase the whites or something like that. So I'm just going to start with the mid-tone. I know I could have bought gray paper. That would work too. Yeah, I like doing this. It's very relaxing, making my background dirty. But yeah, in high school, I decided I really liked soft pastels, chalks. But then I decided they were too messy. I know it sounds weird. I was like, these are too messy. So I really got into oil pastels. I still love my oil pastels. Oil pastels are awesome. They're awesome. They're a great drawing material. And I use my oil pastels for paintings too. But there's something about drawing with the charcoal and the contour crayon and the chalk that is different than drawing with the oil pastel. It might be because I really get messy with this. And it might be like, I've never done 3D art, but I think for me, this is the closest probably to doing 3D art because I'm getting messy with it. I don't use my left hand usually, but I get messy with it, making it, and then it's like, I'm finding the drawing in the picture, sort of. It's only when I'm cleaning it up that I feel that way. But yeah. I get dirty with it. Yeah, let's see. Vine charcoal is really great for its forgivingness. It's really great at forgiving, but it also blows away real easily. So it's great for just coloring your background real quick, doing a quick sketch, and then if you don't like it, you can rub it away. But if you do that sketch on there, be sure to lock it down with regular hard charcoals or something that are soft charcoals. Charcoal, nah. Sounds like I said tacos. Charcoal. Like, yeah. Yeah, not tacos. Don't do tacos. All right. Oh, my hands are so dirty. Blah. All right. That's not, all right. I say that's dirty. It's not that dirty. Okay. It's not as gray as I like it, but I'll tweak that. All right. Let me get my image and pull that up. All right. So give me just a quick second here. Ooh, let's see here. Now, what was very nice about the summertime, actually, COVID has been really good for challenging me. I'll just put it that way, challenging me. Because as I ran out of material, sometimes it required me to look through what I already had and use what I already had. So instead of buying more canvases, I looked through, someone had gifted me all this charcoal paper, this really big charcoal paper. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to use it. And it also, because of COVID and some of the issues going on, so I challenged myself to draw bigger, but also challenged myself to draw in black and white and things I hadn't drawn before. So it's been good because I've been challenging myself, going back to materials that I've liked and I've used before in the past. So kind of rediscovering them, but also challenging myself to, do different subject matter and stuff like that. So that's been really good. So both with my paintings and with my drawings. All right, let's see. Woohoo. All right, well, this is my lovely little Conte crayon. Oops, so here we go, Conte crayon. Let's see, but I think I want to start sketching with a little bit of charcoal here. Hopefully I won't do too dark. Let's see, I found this nice little picture of a woman in profile. So let's see how this goes. She's on a nice little green background too. All right. Oh dear, please forgive me. Oh wait, I'll move me this time. There we go. Hopefully you guys can still see. All right, let's see here. Actually, I'm going to switch. I got this nice soft charcoal. I'm just going to go dark. I know it's bad to just go straight dark because you can't really erase it, but you know what? I'm going to live with it. I'm learning to live with mistakes. And that's what they say you should do sometimes with your art, live with your mistakes. And incorporate it. You know, that mistakes can be some of your best things. All right, let's see. There's my, where is my, maybe this is it. Actually, no. Actually, I couldn't find it. I must have used up all my soft charcoal. I got my medium here and hard. So I'll try this other brand. Because soft's really good at getting real dark spots. Or not spots, but dark sections. And her hair is nice and black. She's got this, her afro is like put up into this bun in the back of her head, which is awesome. So let me make sure we got everybody here. Yep. So I'm gonna try. Part of it's cut off, but I'm gonna try. Want to capture that because it's all this beautiful dark black. And that's what's great about black and white paint. Drawings, is that you can get really, you can go dark, you can go black. That's actually been really fun trying to go black as I can. And then trying to go gray or mid-white. I'll just call it that, mid-white. Let's see here. All right, the way I'm drawing this is going to be a very abstract drawing. And I don't think I knew that in the moment. I would love to say, all right, she's going to be photorealistic. I don't draw photorealistic. I hate to say it, y'all. Yeah, I wish I could, but turns out that wasn't my forte. So I had to learn to accept how I drew. Um, yeah. All right, probably should have used a little bit more gray here. Let's see. This. I don't think I dig this background, y'all. Let's see. Actually, I don't dig her shape of her head. Let's see here. It needs more. Yes. Yes, I am adding more gray here to see if I can change it. This may or may not work, but I'm going to try it anyways. So the shape isn't coming out how I want it, but that's okay. Sometimes, you know, like someone has a rough day, you know. I remember taking this great drawing class with a teacher back when I was in school, when I went back to school, art class, and he always talked about, like, it was my quick draw class, and his name was Tim Decker. And, you know, he talked about drawing through it, you know, like sometimes you're like, your drawings are really tight and it's just not coming together, and you just talked about drawing through it, you know, you just keep going, you know, until you break through. Not necessarily always with the same drawing, because it was quick draw class, so you kept the drawings, the model would only be there for like 2 to 5 minutes, then she'd change positions. But he's like, if you keep at it, and he could see it in your drawings, like where like all my drawings were really and tight, and all of a sudden there was like this breakthrough. So so if I don't have a breakthrough, I might rip this and then start over or cover it up. But yeah, it was really kind of awesome, you know. Whoopsie. Really kind of awesome for him to talk about the fact that, you know, everything's not always smooth. Everything's not always easy. The process is not always easy trying to get that drawing or image, you know. Sometimes it takes a while, or sometimes you're just not feeling it, you know. And it takes work and patience and to keep trying and keep coming back at it, you know, which I think is awesome. Or sometimes that you have a vision for something, like, oh, I think it's going to come out this way, but as you draw it, something happens or a mistake happens, and that new element from that mistake changes the picture, you know, which I think is awesome too. Let's see, look at this here. So I'm going to change how I'm coming about approaching this picture a little bit, as you can see. But I also feel like I'm trying to find my warm up here. Oops, that's my very dark there. That's not good. When I was a kid, my favorite thing to draw on the human figure, no, it wasn't ears. It was eyes. My favorite thing to draw was eyes. Oh, I want to draw. Oh, hi, Erica. Let's see. That's already amazing. I always wanted to draw, but I'm terrible at it, so I draw others. Oh, thank you, Erica Ann. Oh, and thank you. Thank you, guys. Yeah, this might end up being more of an abstract, my drawing here, which is good. I love it that if I do a photo as a reference, and key point, it's just a reference. It will still look human. And maybe a very pretty human. It just won't look like anybody you know. And I'm totally okay with that. There's a lot of great, beautiful, colorful, abstract art out there that really, you know what I mean, connects with our hearts. Um, so yeah, yeah. But Erica Ann, you were talking about like the drawing part. I think it's because I like photography too, and my eye wants to capture because I love photography so much. I want to capture what my eye sees, and and I can't do it, you know, because but it's that ideal of trying to make it like look what I'm, you know, making it look like what I see. Um, but then I realized that even sometimes when I take a photograph, it's not, and I'm looking at it, even though I might have the framing right, the colors aren't always right. So, uh, so learn to even that tweak that, you know, let my artist hand get in there. Like, okay, let me tweak it to make it be what that inner vision of what I saw in my head when I was looking at the scene. Try to see if I can put that into a photograph. All right, I haven't really done that part yet too much with photographs, so I guess I'm doing it in my drawings instead a little bit. Um, or more of I guess it's more of what I'm feeling at the moment. Right now, I'm trying to think. There's nothing really deep I feel about this painting or this drawing, except for I was like, oh, this was pretty when I saw it online. So, 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 sorry, I dropped my, I'm clumsy, dropped this. So I'm going to try to see if I can capture some of the, well, she has a really pretty neck, so maybe I can capture some of the length of her neck here, you know. Um, oh yes, this ear. Yeah, I got to stop trying to draw that ear yet. I've gotten lazy. I used to be able to do an ear really good. I remember back in college once drawing a friend's friend, and she was like, "That's my brother's ear," because I was drawing her brother, and she was like, "That's my brother's ear." She could see it in the drawing. So at one point, I wasn't lazy with ears, but I might be lazy. Give you the heads up just in case my ear gets lazy. Or it might be the only thing that looks realistic. I might come back and be like, all right, here's the ear, and then everything else is abstract. What's been really nice about these drawings, these charcoal drawings this summer, doing them, is that most of them have been of African Americans, and which is awesome for me as African American drawing people that look like me, people that look like my family, um, and drawing our hair. It's been so much fun drawing people with curly hair. Oh my goodness, I don't know. I think that's the real reason why I did is because I wanted to draw my hair. Um, yeah, it's and charcoal really makes it easy to draw my hair. Like I know that sounds strange, but it really does. It makes it so easy to draw my hair because you can smudge it up, you know, create little lines and make that by smudging it, you get the softness of the curl and the bounce, you know, the woolliness, the kinkiness of our hair, and um, that is part of the reason why I started drawing. Not all of them, some of them aren't, but it's part of the reason why I started doing my black and white drawings of African Americans because it's the hair. We've got great hair. We got fun hair. At least fun to draw. Yeah. It's a hassle to comb it. I'm very lazy. I'm wearing a scarf today, y'all, covering up my hair. So it makes it easy to maintain when you wear a scarf. Woohoo! All right, but yeah, it is so much. I must admit, I have more fun drawing black hair than combing my hair. Because, yes, sir. Well, that's because of the knots, and it hurts when I pull. That's the real reason why, because yeah, combing out those tangles is a pain. Of course, I must admit, if I wait so long to comb out my hair, chances are, if I didn't wait so long, it wouldn't be as tangled and it wouldn't hurt as much. But, you know, I mean, it's not that it hurts that bad. It's just, you know, just pull. It's just the pull of it all. All right. Oh, this is so much fun. Like I said, the darks, getting my hands dirty, rubbing it. As you can see, of course, I'm using my hands here. I think that's the reason why I liked the pastels back in high school and stuff like that, was the
I know it sounds weird because I'm not a person who likes getting dirty, but I like, I do. I like getting the dirty with the charcoal, with the pastels. It's fun. Blending it and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I really do. Like I said earlier, it feels a little bit like it's that textureness of like I guess a person who does sculpture. I must admit I haven't done sculpture really, but you're able to play with and manipulate that textile or that malleability, able to play with your hands and you feel it on your hands. And I think and that sensation, I'm assuming it's like I think it's for me it's something like that, you know. I'm playing with it with my hands and moving the color around, and that sensation must be just very relaxing. Maybe I'm massaging my hands unintentionally. Um, but I think that's what it is for me, is that it's just relaxing, moving that color around, playing with it. Um, it does for me. Differently than when drawing with pen. Now, pen's fun too. And every time I draw a pen, I gotta color it in. Oh my goodness. I love drawing with my pen. But I must admit, y'all, I do unserious drawings. When I say that, I mean I do I love anime and cartoons and stuff like that. And so I will draw my favorite comic characters. Um, and it's changed around a little bit. But when I draw comic characters. And I think the reason why I do is because I didn't do it as a kid. All these kids were doing it all the time in high school, drawing, you know, they were drawing their favorite, like, let's say, oh gosh, I can't remember who was popular back in the day. I guess Batman and stuff like that. He's still popular. But who did I like back in the day? Teen Titans. I like the Teen Titans. Um, but I didn't draw them. I don't know. I think it's because I was too much into fantasy. So my friend would draw it with her pastels. She drew elves. So I really liked her drawings. I didn't have anything I was really drawing, I must admit. Um, so now that I'm an adult, um, right, and I don't even have kids, so I can't even use that as an excuse. I've drawn things like Sailor Moon, because I think she's so fun. So I'll find people's drawings of Sailor Moon and then redraw them. I've drawn, what else have I drawn? A couple of Teen Titans nowadays, Sailor Moon. Oh, Spider Gwen, back when the Spider Verse was huge, Into the Spider Verse, you know, of Miles. I really love Spider Gwen. She was just this awesome with her ballet shoes. So coming from a dance background, I think I liked her ballet shoes. Black and white outfit with these teal ballet shoes, ballet flats she's wearing. Well, so she was confident. She was a musician, all that kind of stuff too. Anyways, not that I read the comic book. I just thought she was cool. So I did some Spider Gwen and, like I said, Sailor Moon because they were just both awesome. Um, this year I did Silk. Haven't read her comic book either. She's another version of Spider Man or Spider Woman, but she was wearing a mask. So her lower part of her face is a mask, just like you guessed it, y'all, what we wear now. So I did a few drawings of Silk because she's so apropos. I like that word for the times that we're living in. A hero for our age, yeah, because she's definitely covered up. Just like I said, the lower part of her face, just like us. Yes, this woolly hair. I love it. Oops, as I drop my charcoal once more. Let's see here. Da, da, da. All right, gonna draw. She's definitely got a nice long neck. All right, as you can see, she doesn't have a face. That's going to be the challenge. I haven't figured out how I'm going to take on that challenge yet. So I'm playing around with the other areas. I almost feel like those other areas are coming around a little bit easier. Sometimes they do. But also at the same time, I get to warm up my hands and my fingers, my eye. I was watching a YouTube video of a live stream, oh gosh, a few weeks back. And it was kind of cool what he was saying because I was only just discovering it myself because I never really thought about it up until that moment. he was talking about how when you're working on a piece, he was doing a pencil drawing, I think, of a building. And he was talking about the fact that as you work on a piece and you're drawing on it and you're drawing on it as time goes by, he's like, you discover more and more. Like every time your eye passes over the picture, you discover something that you didn't discover before. So you end up adding more details, or you end up changing the shape, So, which was really kind of cool because I didn't something. I think it's something either you're taught and it kind of goes in your head and you're just start, or you're kind of automatically doing it as your eye looks across the page, or you're looking across your image and you notice a detail here, and then you work on something else, and then you go back to what you were looking at before and you notice something else. Like you might notice a shape, or how long her neck is, or how long her chin is, or you might notice something else about the shape of the ear, or you might notice the shadow, which you didn't notice the first time, And so I thought that was just really kind of cool, talking about how, how you notice things at different moments as you work in progress, I was like, yeah, that's cool. Because sometimes you wonder, like, why didn't I catch that earlier? It's only because your eye didn't notice it earlier because you were focusing on something else, probably focusing on capturing that edge, And only now it's like, yeah, now it's time for me to notice how that edge connects. Oh, I forgot to mention another thing about drawing. Good thing I said abstract on this piece. I was thinking about start loose and then you tighten it up for the details later, much, much later. Her purr mouth. I haven't figured out how to do her mouth yet. Maybe I'll just do a little shadow to indicate so I can fix later. Start loose, because if you lock down too soon sometimes, and I probably locked down a little bit here. I can already see it. It makes it harder to change. You can sometimes erase things, but not always as much. So it's always good to stay loose. Then you come back, you add a little bit more. By staying loose or light at the beginning, you're able to, if you notice something that's off, you're able to change it and move it. So that's always a great technique, great thing. Let's see here. Like, talked about this is an abstract, so let's see. I might try doing something a little bit different with discovering her features here. So she has no nose here. I keep rubbing it away. I might try rubbing in the shadows first, finding the shadows of like where her eyes are at, just to place that first. I have to rub some of this. Finding that and use that as my way to build the shape of her eye. Oh, what an interesting nose here. Yeah, I know I'm obsessing with that nose. Oh, well. Well, the good thing about charcoal, it's a little erasable. Only a little. My eraser here is really dark and messy. But one of the best things I discovered in high school, and then I didn't use them a lot because I wasn't using my charts, is the gray eraser. White erasers work great for other things, but the gray eraser is so wonderful for pastels and charcoals, for erasing away things, adding details and stuff like that if you need the details to be in white. So they're just really awesome for that. Let's see here. Got a little idea of where I want her eye at. I'm trying to decide if I want to... No, I think I might have more shadows. But I want to lighten up her nose here. At least act like she has a nose. I keep acting like she doesn't have one. It just doesn't look like the one in my in the photo reference. That's all. Like, I like the roundedness of it, but it's different. But as long as I don't show you my original, you guys won't know the difference. I was like, it was just a reference here. Yes. As they're thinking of which, I probably should at least look at my reference now and then, right? Yes. They're also great for creating highlights and stuff like that. Oh, I do feel a little better now. The dirty fingers come in handy for rubbing in shadows too at times. I love that. Okay, I feel a little bit better now about that nose. I just gotta remember not to rub it by accident. What else do I use? Paper towel, sometimes to rub things away or blend it, which is a good thing. Sometimes the blending's a good thing. Bracing, it depends on how I feel. I discovered through a YouTube video earlier this year, which was a great one, just this really cool technique of blending and using a paintbrush, a dry paintbrush, a clean paintbrush. I had some I hadn't ever used for any paintings. Let's see if I can find it. Oops, here's one. I she probably used a better one, but I used this old one. I think she also used makeup brushes because they were just really soft and they're really good for blending softly and gently and very subtly. So I've used that sometimes when I've gotten close to the end of a painting, just to add a little subtle blending, just to see what will happen. I must admit, since I didn't grow up using a brush for blending, I usually forget. And then at the last minute when I'm almost done, I'm like going, oh, wait, you didn't try blending this a little bit with your brush, just to see. Yeah, I grew up doing my finger for blending. Paper towel, I think I've used more now also. And then there's this thing called blending stumps, or actually they have a different name, but you call them blending stumps. Everybody knows what they are. Oh, thank you, Janisa. Janice. Like Denise, I'm hoping, right? But thank you, thank you. I think I like about charcoal drawings, they do take me longer than a painting. Well, obviously. I don't know why I compare it to a painting. Yeah, because you already know, you were here. I paint quickly. But yeah, I'm trying to think when I've been doing these over the summer. I can't tell. I'm not sure how long it takes me. I wish I knew exactly how long it took me. Sometimes it feels like it takes me 4 or 5 hours, but I'm not sure it's because I worked on an hour or so in one moment, and then I worked on it another hour or so another day, just to tweak up more stuff. And I'm working over several days trying to tweak it up to where I like it. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure how long it takes me to do one. But yeah, all right. I'm trying to decide how brave I am. No, still not. I know I got to add at least something for an eye. Will I be brave? Will I be brave? I'm just not. I'm leading towards it. I know I said that was my thing back in the day, the eye, and it's only one. Actually, yes, that's true. But I must admit, profile. Ooh, profiles are hard for me. I think that's why I decided to, save the image. Yeah, just because one, it's pretty, but also profiles are a challenge for me. So I like giving myself a challenge. Of course, why did I do it for a live stream? Don't ask. I didn't think about it. I just thought, oh, this is pretty. Because I saved it for a rainy day, for when I was ready. That's what it was. But yeah, kind of go like, wait. So it's the challenge. So I guess I like a challenge. I didn't think I was. I didn't think I was that type of person, but I guess I am. I learned something new about myself, you guys. All right, let's see here. All right, got a shadow for an eyebrow here. Yes, you guys, I'm building myself up towards being brave enough to get that eye on. Um, yes, finger. Yes, I love it. It's a great art tool. Let's see. I probably should have used a little vine charcoal here. Um, I just realized I want my lines to be a little bit more forgiving. It might be too late. Yes, I should have. Here we go. Oh, yes, but I forgot. I still have that handy dandy eraser. All right, see? I put some vine charcoal here. As you see, it just erases away almost. So it gives me a little bit freedom to draw my lines in. And if I really like, I screwed up, I got a chance to fix my screw up. Just a mild chance. Um, hmm, let's see here. Actually, sorry, yeah, I got into one of my thinking modes. Um, hmm. Oh, that's much better. I realized her eye was not big enough. Still probably not big enough. But I guess I should be careful. I don't want to actually give her. Well, I guess I could. I could give her an anime eye. It might be really big then, but huh. I I keep making it bigger and bigger. Okay, let's see here. That does feel better. Where's my eraser? I need to tweak that a little bit. Like you saw, I backed myself into that eye. Let's see, turn this a smidge. Oh, wait, I'll do it this way. There's a little bit more of her eye. There we go, a little bit more of her eye. Um, I'm going to erase a little bit to add a little bit, add the white of the eye. But to also, I think I need to, I want to tweak it a little bit too. The eye smidge. But yes, as you saw, I totally backed myself up into drawing that eye, so I could really feel it out. Drew all around it, drew in my back, drew in my shadows that were underneath the eye to get that shape space, and then finally drew down some lines. And yes, I better be careful because I did forget just now that I did not lock down the shape because I did it with that. Yes, right, that vine charcoal. Let's see. Okay, this feels good. I erase a little bit more. Yeah. That feels. Yes. Okay, yes, I totally did it, y'all. I accidentally erased my vine charcoal before I locked it all down. But that might have actually been a good thing in a way, smidge way, sort of way. Let's see here. Needs more tweaking here. I know I need to move this over. That works. This is better. Mhm. All right, y'all. It's going to be a little drastic, y'all. Um, because I have to go back and add a little bit of light here. So just to see what, I'm just going to see what happens. If it doesn't work, it's all good. It is forgiving. And, oh, it's coming together. And, oh, thank you guys. It's, yeah, it feels like it's such a process. I guess it is a process, isn't it? What am I saying? Um, I guess it forces me to be patient. Um, which I guess it's always good. I always just chant to myself, patience is a virtue. I was usually in the doctor's office waiting for you know what I mean, or the dentist waiting for my appointment, or waiting for Christmas or something like that when I'd be chanting my most. Um, but I guess that it still works, you know, when you think when I'm working on a painting, you know, like going, got to be patient, do it one step at a time, and it will slowly start coming together as I patiently work on it. Um, yeah, so I got to have that patience. I need a, let's see. That line's good, but I need it to blend more. There we go. No, oh yeah, I always forget. One of the hardest things about with charcoals is fine lines, those fine edges. Um, what actually has been a blessing about drawing big is that your fine lines are fatter and bigger. So there's that. And I don't really do detail. So, and charcoal doesn't, because it's flat or square or round, when you draw with it, kind of like when you draw with a crayon, you know, it wears down and flattens that you end up with bigger edges. So it's not meant for fine lines, but it is possible. I haven't really done it, but if anybody out there is a drawer, um, technique, I think pencil sharpeners. I guess you could use a little knife, a little blade if you want to sharpen edge, like you sharpen a pencil sometimes. Old school, back before our times, of course. But I think people have also put them in pencil sharpeners or they fine tune them that way. But also the thing is, like with always drawing, like you end up, because it wears away, you end up with flat edges. And so if you're able to flip your charcoal or chalk or whatever multiple edges while you're shading down with it, you can end up kind of creating a point or lots of more finer points. So that's a technique that, yeah, I'm looking at mine that's round on one side and flat on the other that I haven't done a lot. But it does for people who like edges. Draw bigger is one way to do it. And then also, so that way when you make those fine edges, you'll be able to have fatter edges that will work with the medium. And then the other one, sharpen the points. I know, sandpaper. You get a piece of sandpaper and then you file it down that way. You don't have to put in a pencil sharpener. Sandpaper, that'd be fastest and easiest. So, and you just create a little edge by rubbing all the edges, you know, or a point, turning it and rubbing it that way. There are probably people out there who are like, you don't have to draw bigger to get fine edges. So that's why I mentioned the sandpaper to sharpen your points. But for me, I enjoy drawing bigger because I can get some details that I probably wouldn't have or something if I did it smaller or something like that. But like I said, it's one of those challenges that I was able to start taking up by this summer that I didn't, because I didn't do it before. And I was still am self isolating, so I'm not out there shopping all the time or money's tight at times, so I guess money's tight for an artist, period. But it just really got me to be creative and to try new things, try new material. Well, maybe not. I would love to say I tried a lot of new things. I didn't try a lot of new things.
Oh yeah, angle. Yep. Oh yeah, the word I was looking for, angle. I totally forgot that. Thank you. Well, let's say I tried a lot of new things. I think the only thing I really tried new was the paper size. And then when I was painting on the palette, not the palettes, on the particle board, which was the particle board from my framing, from when I framed last year, a bunch of paintings and didn't throw them away. I guess my next challenge is since I didn't, my works are acrylic, so they don't need to be under glass. So I guess I could, what is that? Try painting on the glass? Has anybody painted on glass before? Because I don't know. And would acrylic paints work on glass? So that's my. I'm probably going to try that at some point. I saw someone paint on a book with gouache, and I'm not a watercolorist, but someone gave me some gouache paint. So yes, I did. I painted a book. All right, I did a drip painting. I'll be honest. I did a drip painting, but in gouaches on a book, 3 or 4 books. So they're abstracts, just like how I like doing it, abstracts. But oopsie, my painting went away. But yeah, I did try that, painted on a book. Well, I remember and did because I did abstracts. Does it reference the book that I painted over? Nope, not at all. So, will I remember what the book was about? Nope, not at all. It's now just its own new piece of work now. Oh yeah, see those whites were definitely needed. Eraser is my friend. I must admit, another thing I really like about the charcoal. I remember being back in high school, and the weird part, high school was over, oh gosh, 30 years ago? Yeah, don't want to admit that, but yes, 30, it was over, I think that's right. 2 years ago was 30 years. Anyways, I remember one of my teachers, and he was talking about drawing. This was when I was drawing with my pencil during that time. And he was like, don't erase. I know that sounds strange, but as you see, a lot of my lines are still here, and I was able to blend with them. But he was like, don't erase, because he says, use your pencil to find that edge, that line that you're looking for. I don't think he was trying, in my brain, I heard don't erase. And I don't think he was really trying to say don't erase at all. He was just trying to say, use it to find the edge. Go ahead and keep drawing to find that edge. And then once you find it, then you lock it down by, like with my drawing class, later on, my drawing classes, especially with my animation classes, stuff like that, once you find those edges that you want, you go back with like maybe another medium, like a darker color. Like if I'm using like a gray pencil or a blue pencil, you go back with a black and to find those edges that you really want. What I love about charcoal is that I can find my line and then blend away the ones that don't work, or use it to blend into the shadows. So, yeah, that was, to me, I still use it. I mean, like, and I love, excuse me, I dropped my medium again. I must admit, when a lot of my drawings, like my dancer sketches, they're just that, gestural, and all my lines are there. I would have drawn it in pen, and I just love, because of that, I love the lines that are there. You can still see them there. The work of the artist, I guess. I don't think it's so much that I want it to be, you see the hand of the artist, excuse me, that was the one I meant. The hand of the artist in it. It's just, I just like that feel. And I think that's what I like. Like, I must admit, after I was done with school, with my art school, and it was maybe like 4 years after I was done. So when I went back to art, or I went back for my art degree, that was probably in 2005. I went back and I graduated in 2008 with my art degree. It wasn't about 4 years later that I started, after I went to a museum, of course, museums are so inspiring. I went back and, or excuse me, not went back, but in 2012, I started going, I'm not doing anything. Now and then I'll occasionally draw. And it was like I wasn't doing what I had gone back to school for, what I was in school debt for.
and also what was my passion. And so I tried to really focus on my art and trying to find, I guess, my style. And oh dear, I think I forgot part of my story here. Um, da, 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 da. Oh, that's great. I forgot. Oh my goodness. Finding my lines. Um, Shoot, I forgot part of my story here, y'all. I tangent. I totally tangent. Um, I feel I'm going to hit what I wanted to say, and I'm going to miss it at the same time. Um, but I remember trying to find my own style. Oh, that maybe that was part of it. And oh, that's what it was. I was trying to find my own style, and I probably still haven't found my own style. And I love playing with medium, so I don't think I've really locked on my style. But in the process of finding my own style, I remember my oil paintings feeling like they were a little stiff. And so, in the process of and finding out how I liked to paint, so I was just trying to do what in school was teaching me, do a little sketch in the sketchbook, and then do underpainting on, do an underpainting before you do your painting on top of it. But that wasn't working for me. I needed to do an underdrawing, and basically, because we didn't do underdrawings, but I need to do an underdrawing and then do my painting on top. But my paintings were still coming out stiff. And I was realizing that my drawings were a little bit more lively. Um, and so I started doing my oil pastels as underdrawings underneath my paintings. And then sometimes go back over it. Then I just ditched the oil paint and just did oil pastels on my canvas and watered them down with odorless mineral spirits to get that painterly quality. It looks kind of watercolor sometimes. Um, Excuse me. Let me take a drink here. My voice. But anyways, I was trying to say before is that drawing. I love the gestural. Um, I love the gesture that you get from a quick sketch, from the quick drawing. I love seeing those lines. Like I think is it Giacometti's, his sculptures. I love that vagueness, but you can still see the realness. He's not my favorite artist, but I just love that part of it because I feel like sometimes when I draw, I feel I feel like I'm trying to capture what he does in his work in my stuff, the scribble and the line, and using that to enliven a flat image. Um, yeah, and sometimes I end up blending too much of it away. So I'll probably see if I can add a little bit of that energy into the background. But I think that's what I love about drawing. The gesture for me, it's the line, the edge, the rhythm, the play, the pattern, but more the rhythm that you can get from drawing that can add a little bit of liveliness to an image. Um, or at least I might have rubbed it away, but at least for me, that's what's there in the beginning before I rubbed it all away. um, so anyways, that goes back to my high school days when he said, "Don't erase your lines." You're right, and so yeah, so that's the reason why, even though I enjoy painting, um, and I think that's what I like about the gesture. I think that's the thing about my abstracts. Um, I think that's why I like my abstracts more than I like some of the other things I painted. I like the gesturalness of it. The energy. I like putting diagonals on there. You know. Sometimes, I mean, it's weird because I would have thought I do like pattern and stuff like that too, but I draw something that's a nice horizontal line, which is nice, steady, stuff like that. They talk about that. It's nice and steady, but sometimes I find it boring. So then I have to go and then I put a vertical and still too boring. So I do a little energy line of diagonals just to add a little more life, to get the eye moving a little bit. So yeah, I like the gestural, and then I like that both in my I guess in my paintings and in my drawings. Um, it's not so much in my charcoals; it's more in my dancer sketches. Um, which of course you guys haven't seen. Oh, let's see. That should be nice. Yes, I'm trying. Oh yeah, what I'm doing here, I'm trying to, yes, put the highlight on here. Just erase it and then blend. Um, it's so funny. I hadn't. Let's see. Like I said, I used to do a bunch of charcoal and stuff like that back when I was in high school. Actually, it was more the chalk and stuff like that back in high school, and then in college doing more of the chalk now and then, and then doing a few drawing classes back when I was went back for my art degree and doing the charcoal again, but basically up until about I guess 2019, I wasn't doing my chalk at all, or even the pastels. I was doing the oil pastels and the oil painting for a bit there. There's that dry spell too. So it was just really weird this upcoming year to when I got back into drawing on a more regular basis, not just in one off or something, to realize some of my techniques that I'd learned, and also trying some techniques I hadn't tried before, just kind of coming back. Which is weird. I don't think I expected that. Some of the things that I hadn't used in a while, for them to suddenly dust them off and be like, oh, this is working, I can still do this. You're right. Oopsie. But yeah, so that sometimes I find very funny. It's like, I can still do this. But it's better to do it all the time because, yes, if I was practicing all the time like I should be, being a disciplined artist, I wouldn't be wondering if I could still do it. And two, I'd probably be able to find it faster, those little lines. Well, I don't know. It takes time, period. It's that process. I guess that impatience was popping out again, y'all. I want it to be done now. But that is not life. Not everything about life is instant gratification. Yes, y'all, I'm going to quote for myself, patience is a virtue. I reminded myself, patience is a virtue. Yeah, slow and steady wins the race. All right. All right. Hey, guys, I got to tell you something about, since I just quoted the turtle and the tortoise and the hare, slow and steady wins the race. Did you guys know that? All right. I love fairy tales. Oh, I guess it's not a fairy tale. But there are versions of the story of the tortoise and the hare that's not the moral of the tortoise. There's other morals beyond the slow and steady wins the race, Of course, the hare being a little bit lazy. But there's a version, I think it's an African folktale version, where everybody's like, of course, I think the turtle is bragging that it can race and take on the rabbit and stuff like that. And the rabbit does whatever he does, and of course, he loses, and the turtle loses. Oh yeah, I forgot. The purpose for their racing was, I think it was because they wanted someone to be available for emergency. So the fastest person was going to, help them when they were in need of an emergency. So they had the race to determine who it would be. And so since the turtle ended up winning the race, he was their emergency contact. So problem was that there was a fire later on, and he was too slow, so everything burnt down. So it turns out slow and steady might be great, but when you needed someone to come fast to your rescue, you want it to still be the rabbit, not the turtle. Let's see. Yes, this is a great question. When it's done, how do you prevent smudging, like display? Yeah. They will smudge. That is so true. there is this thing called fixative. There's workable fixative, which is technically you. And I usually don't do workable fixative, but it's also something you can do. They buy things like Blake. I think Michaels would probably do it too. I'm not sure if you could find it at Ace Hardware, but basically it's a workable fixative is meant to be used with pastels and stuff like that. You spray it. It looks like a hairspray. Oh, actually, hairspray might work too. But you spray it down and you let it dry. And the workable fixative is meant to lock down to an extent your lower layer, and then you're able to go back and draw on top of it some more. I remember my teacher once said that the workable fixative, however, especially with white pastels, will turn the color of it a little bit. But I think there's also, and I have someone give me a can of it. So what I've been doing with my drawings this summer, I just have some fixative. I think it's a Winter Newton brand, but it's very nice. Spray it down, let it dry, spray it again. I think in the opposite direction, but make sure it's really spray. And it actually helps with the smudging. It still has potential for being damaged because they're just that fragile. But you definitely have to spray them down. But yeah, I forgot about that. I think back in the day when I was in school, so this was back in the 80s, y'all. Hairspray in the can, the aerosol. I know. Yeah, it's not very green. Aerosol can. I'm not sure if Aquanet. All right, it doesn't have to be Aquanet. But yeah, the hairspray in the can that could be used as a workable fixative, or a fixative for protecting your stuff. Don't quote me on that yet because I haven't used it in years. And like I said, I graduated 30 years ago. All right, 32 years ago. So, but yeah, back in the day, that could be used as a substitute if you didn't happen to have the fixative. Trying to think. But even after you sprayed it, you have to be very gentle. I don't have everything that I need, but someone was talking about, I was reading on a website recently about he bought special paper to put between the layers because don't roll them up because they're that fragile. But putting paper between the layers when you stack them up or something like that, and I must admit, I don't have that, but I spray them all and then gently lay another one on top of it. And I'm sure that's a huge no-no. But also when you frame and mat it, has to be under glass to protect it. Unlike paintings, like oil paintings and acrylic paintings that don't have to be under glass to protect it from damage from water or whatever, these have to be under glass. It can't be touching the surface because the glass and the paper could smudge that way. So you have to make sure there's a spacer in between or put a mat between the glass and the piece. So that way the mat's okay because on the edge, but the glass itself won't be touching it directly. So that way it's protected. So if let's say someone wanted to buy one of my pieces, I must admit, my pieces aren't framed. Well, this framing gets expensive. Hate to say it. So they aren't framed, but yeah, then I have to figure out how to ship it to you guys safely. And I would make sure it's safely shipped to you, protected. Like I put it between like a couple big boards with protective paper on it, and then ship it UPS, and put on there it's fragile. And then you could frame it up, like I said, like put spacers between the piece and the glass. So that way it does not touch, so the glass does not touch the painting. And so, yeah. Daughter was my concern. Oh, for her piece. Yeah, because she's an artist, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so tell her, hairspray. Do they still do the aerosol? I don't buy hairspray. I do buy hair products, but I don't buy hairspray. Because I use a scarf. You guys can't see the scarf, but I use a scarf to hold my hair back. But yeah, tell her, try the hairspray, but I think it has to be the aerosol kind. I think if you did like a pump bottle kind of, like the ones that come in like a Bath and Body spray bottle, I think that's going to put water droplets on there. But it has to be more misty. so it can spray like that. I think it has to be more aerosol. So yeah, laugh. Oh, she's 5. Well, when she's ready. But yeah, yeah, I think that would totally work. Cool. I love it. Inspiring artist. You're gonna think this is cool. My nephews, my brother's kids, the one that asked for the abstract watermelon. Um, he and his brother, they see me painting. They follow me on Facebook. Their mom shows me, or their mom, my sister-in-law, Sarah, she shows them my painting. So they've seen my work and stuff like that online. I gave them a gift one year of paintings. And this year, they both, when we had a Zoom call for Thanksgiving, people were asking. My one nephew was like, hey, did you make that abstract watermelon for me yet? And so that was his request. And his brother was like, I have an empty space on my wall that I could use a painting. So, yeah, so nudging by touching. Touching. Oh, smudging by touching. Wait, what do you mean by that? Oh, I see what you're saying. No, 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 like your daughter. Yeah, 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 yeah. Smudging by, yeah, because just like, yeah. Oh, glass. Definitely glass. Don't just spray, right. Don't just spray it. Definitely put some glass over. Or actually, I guess you could do plastic. Because plastic protection would be like if you frame up a piece, after you sprayed it and you frame it up, I guess plastic could be, if it's UV protect, it would work also. As long as it doesn't touch it. So yeah. Well, I just realized I have a little bit of everything besides her very non-ear. I haven't done her mouth. All right, so I will back myself into the mouth. All right, just like I did. Do a little shadow here. This may not work. Her mouth may not work. Yes, sir. If I do if I do a mouth that's not attached to something, I know that sounds crazy. That'll be fine. Doing a mouth attached to a face sometimes, though, in profile is really hard. At least for me. Others might have their thing where it's really easy for them, but that for me is hard. I have issues. I learned that. I was saying I had issues. Yes, sir. Oh dear, I misplaced my smudgers. I need my smudger. My finger's too big. There we go. I'm trying using one of these. Still needs more color though. Or more. That worked. You're soften the smudge. All right, let's see. A little bit of this. Oh, yes, I know. I said I was going to work that mouth. Coward. I'm being a coward about it. But I guess putting a mouth at least give a sense of what this. I guess more of a sense of what she looks like. Yeah. Oops, don't use the Conti crayon. That'll be too dark. Let me just use this here. And let's see here. I understand. This may not work. All right, now it looks like she's. Let's see what I want to do here. There we go. All right, blew up my image a little bit so I could see it better. All right, let's see. All right, let's see here. Well, this is getting, well, she's looking more cute. Well, I guess she's looking more human because she has a mouth. All right. I need to, let's see here. There we go. It's going to need more tweaking. This, All right, I'm trying to tell myself be patient because I'm having one of those moments. But the weird part is I still, even though I'm like being impatient with myself, I also still see that it's coming. Like if I keep working at it, it is coming. Like one moment it's like, the next moment it's like, oh, kind of like a little bit of like, it's kind of a little bit of like drawing it. You're right, drawing, then erasing it, drawing, and then erasing. And it just pops up a little bit more, but more and more. Because those smudges are definitely helping the pic, or adding a little bit, I guess, the value, adding some of the values that I need. And then I erase it again to add my highlight that because I took out too much, and then it's like, oh, look, here's that shape. And then I'm like surprised. I'm like going, oh. Yeah. Needs a little more line here. That's what's missing. Let's see, I need to, will this work to blend it? No, it's too soft. It's fun. I used to use these blending sticks all the time back when I was in high school and stuff. But, yeah, I don't know how I ended up just don't use them as often. I use them now and then, but everything else seems to blend more like how I want it, work better for me for blending. Let's see here. Let me add a little here. And then here, let's smudge this way. I know, being bad, I shouldn't have put my hand on the surface, but I totally did. But it's where I really don't care. That's like this. That feels, oh, she's got a, whoa, she's got a mouth now. Wow. It's not fully there, but she's got a mouth. Oh my goodness. Ooh, and a very big chin. Teeny tiny mouth and a very big chin. Interesting. That's very. Oh my goodness. What I just checked the time. It is now 5 minutes to 4, which means my time is wrapping up. I will probably work on her some more, either today and take a breather, and then work on her some more, of course, tomorrow, to tighten up, add more details, or if I need to tweak things. She's not done, but there's definitely a great. At least I hope she's not done. Sometimes I quit on a picture, but like, yeah, it's done, even though it really wasn't. But I feel like I got a great start. Lots of, a lot of the shading down, start of details. I know some people do great details on pictures, getting nice photorealism on there. That's not me. Yeah, that's so not me. Not that patient. I like I said, I like the sketch and gestural marks, lines to represent. So I probably will be stopping here soon because I think I need to come back and think about that mouth. It's there. It's starting to come there. Like I got the nice edge here, but I think I might have to erase it, based because of her chin. Yeah, I might have to erase it. I might have locked it down a little too soon, but I might need to make it bigger, and I might tweak her eye a little bit too. But yeah, it's been my 2 hours are up. So thank you for being here with me. And hopefully you enjoyed watching, and this will be saved for later. All right. And you can find me and my work on happyheartarts1513.com. That's my website, and all my art is available for purchase. Pricing is there, images are there. Things can be shipped directly to your homes. And then also I'm on Instagram, JollyJolie2001, and Happy Heart Arts is my Facebook page. So Happy Heart Arts Facebook. And so, yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Amanda. Thank you for coming and watching and talking. Yeah. Thank you. And Janice, thank you too. I appreciate you both for being here, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the process. And yeah. All right. Oh, and I realize it's 2:40, so I think our next person is supposed to be able to get on, so I'm going to have to say goodbye. Bye, and thank you, guys. Oops, there's mine.